Welcome back. In breaking news, after no deal reached between the U.S. and Iran, President Trump just said he'll be blocking traffic coming in and out of the Strait of Hormuz, and that's a key waterway where 1/5 of the world's oil and gas passes through. We have our Robert Sherman live in Tel Aviv, Israel, with the latest on this breaking news. Robert, what does this mean going forward and for negotiations potentially to even restart now from this?
Yeah, hey there, Kelly. Well, the vice president isn't even back in Washington yet, and we've already seen the next move being made here in this back and forth with Iran. I want to read you part of the formal statement that President Trump just released. Effective immediately, the United States Navy, the finest in the world, will begin the process of blockading any and all ships trying to enter or leave the Strait of Hormuz. At some point, we will reach an all being allowed to go in, all being allowed to go out. But for the time being, saying that if any Iranian ships fire upon, whether that's U.S. naval ships or whether any cargo ships trying to go through the Strait of Hormuz, they will be blown to hell, using his words there. What you would say here, Kelly, is that the president shedding a little bit more light on the status of these negotiations, actually framing them as a positive back and forth with Iran, that many points were agreed to. But you heard both the vice president and president saying the same thing, that the number one issue that they went into that negotiation with is the one they could not find agreement on with Iran. That was the nuclear ambition one, to ensure that Iran never gets a nuclear weapon ever again. As a result, well, never gets a nuclear weapon, period. As a result of all of this, you have this next move being made here, which would be a naval blockade in an attempt to squeeze Iran's major lifeline, the Strait of Hormuz, their oil shipments. We have seen some cargo ships going in and out of the Strait of Hormuz in recent days, again, totally at the blessing of the Iranian military. But according to the international community, you have heard the criticism of this loud and clear, that does not fit the definition of freedom of navigation, which is an international right. And as a result, you see the president making this move here. And for the record, there's also been widespread condemnation coming from many of the other Gulf states that the Strait of Hormuz should not be operated at the blessing of the Iranian military. There should be freedom of navigation for all. This is the next step in all of this, and certainly going to up the pressure on Iran as the ceasefire still holding at this hour. It's lasted a couple of days so far. It's supposed to last an entirety of 2 weeks here. But both Iran and the United States have said they're ready to go if this ceasefire falls apart. And we just saw the pressure cranked up again moments ago. Kelly?
Yeah, absolutely. Great job breaking that all down for us. Robert Sherman reporting live from Tel Aviv, Israel. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.